We have John Batchelor. Good morning.
Thank you for your time. I'll be brief. So why I'm here is mainly to just submit on the cathedral levy. I don't believe there was ever a mandate for this levy to be taken. If the Anglican Church had been left to make its own decisions, there would be a new cathedral sitting out there now, probably laminated timber as Bishop Matthews envisaged and had concept drawings done for. The cold reality of it is, I'm not an anti-heritage building person, but stone buildings don't stand up in earthquakes, and they never will. And even some reinforced concrete buildings don't stand up, as we've just seen this week. So where I'm coming from is that now that this restoration project has been paused, I don't see there's any legitimate way that council can keep deducting the cathedral levy. And I also feel, and I wrote to the mayor about this a while ago, and I even consulted my solicitor just for a bit of advice, but I also feel that the money that's been taken in this rating year actually really legally should be returned to those who have paid it, because the restoration project was paused at the beginning of this rating year, but however, you people said that you'd set the rates and you couldn't turn that back, and so we're waiting for this coming year. So I feel reasonably strongly about this, and that's the main reason I'm here. And just as a sort of a slight add-on with the same flavour is, we just really need to see, I'm a retired person and we just do not have limitless income, and we just need to see a lot of restraint in council spending, and to keep rates increases limited. And I really mean limited to covering the core services. And I know there's a lot of nice to have things, however, I don't believe we're in that environment at the moment. And a whole lot of us out there as ratepayers, we can't afford to pay for the nice to haves. So that's about all I have to say.
That's excellent, thank you. Councillor Henstock and then Mel.
Good morning, thanks for taking the time to come and talk to us today. What are those nice to haves? Can you give us any clarity around that,
well,
please?
just there's quite a few, but just as one of the previous speakers spoke about, say the council, giving or whatever $5 million to the Air Force Museum. Now, I mean, I've spent my whole life in aviation, so I'm attached to aviation, but however, I don't believe that at the moment the ratepayers can afford that. That's sort of $5 million of ratepayer money that could be going somewhere else. And if you give me just a brief bit of latitude, one thing that has really annoyed me, but I haven't sort of done anything about it, but is that is the gross over expenditure of buying land in Terrace. Now the airport company is partly owned by the council, and that's us, the ratepayers, and the rest of it's owned by the government, and that's us, the taxpayers. And it was always a folly to go and pay at least 50% above market value to go and buy a great big parcel of land in Otago. Now, having been in aviation, if you just bear with me for another 30 seconds, that money that the airport company spent on buying that land down there could have been much better spent on this international airport out here, putting in centreline lighting and getting it to Cat3 auto land capability so that it gets rid of the disruptions in fog and all of that. And that, the airport company should have been much more focused. And I'm saying that knowing that there's, I think, 3 councillors that sit on the airport company board, and so those councillors, whoever they are, I know one of them's got to be the mayor, knew what was going on in the boardroom at the airport company, and I just don't agree with what happened. And now you're going to have this...
We don't have elected members on subsidiary boards, and
Okay.
As far as I know, nobody around this
Well,
table
I
knew
understood that there's 3 councillors sit on the airport company board.
You're thinking of CCHL board, and as far as we know, that nobody knew about what was happening. And so we've got Melanie with another question. Victoria, have you finished?
Just very quickly, I can see what's going to happen is that the council or the airport company, is going to have to sell the land eventually at a loss. the people who are still sitting on it are going to buy it back, and they'll be pocketing.
Well, you've got a crystal ball that we haven't got. They could sell it.
No,
for a profit
but I mean,
anything.
we need
But
we
anyway.
need restraint. We need restraint. Us
Yep.
retired
you.
ratepayers cannot afford all the flashy stuff.
Thank you,
So
John.
thank
Really
you very
appreciate
much.
you coming. It was nice to hear from you.
Thank you.
Do we have Brian Gerard here?